10 years ago, dental marketing sucked. I probably just came into the space and questioned it. Like, why? For me, dentistry it's innovative, it's inspiring. It's really a beautiful profession of humans that are serving humans. But yet we never saw that story being told. Stanford actually did a research project lately. They came out and said that story is remembered 22 times more than facts or statistics. Here's the deal. Like if I was on your podcast right now and said, Mark, I can help your clients and your listeners 8x their Google ads right now, 8 times the return on investment. People would be like, pen in hand, stop the car. Let me write that down. You know, if I was on here and said, hey, I could 11x your SEO right now. I mean, it could potentially be the most listened to podcast you have. If you put that in the title, people would be losing their minds. Like, let me 11x my SEO. Like, this is amazing. In my 2 decades of marketing, I'm like, I've got something that can 22x your marketing. And it's this concept of story and the why and the narrative. And because it's like, we've answered the what. Like people know you're a dentist. They assume there's a certain amount of services. They see the tooth on your logo, the big dentist. Like we've answered the what questions. People want to know you though. They want to connect with the practice. Like why you, why here, why this community, why that location, why your team. And so I think when we begin to tell those stories, that's when patients connect. And it's not just like direct response marketing that Aspen can come in and knock you off. It's stuff in people's minds. It's brand equity in their minds. And that's something a Heartland practice or a corporate practice coming in can't compete with.
Yeah, it's so true. And it's funny because it actually creates a qualification, right? So it's like these people know who I am and they were attracted to the story. So they're sitting here in the chair. They're not price shoppers. They're not people that are trying to save $6. These are people that resonated with what I'm about, what my team is about, the story of the actual reason why I became a dentist, what we stand for, our core values. All of that is intertwined into your story. And you put that type of bait out there and you're going to get the right kind of people that you want to be around. The cool thing about what's happened with my podcast, I have people that reach out and they're like, hey, can I just chat with you about what's going on in my practice? Can I have a consultation? And I do that. Those are the people that I love to talk to because they know all about the story. They know the fact that I've failed more than I've succeeded, the fact that I've had 16 dental practices, but it was ugly. It wasn't pretty. And the reason that I'm even qualified to tell anybody about business is because I've done pretty much everything wrong and figured out how to undo my mistakes. So those are the people that have this context. They reach out, we get on a consult, we're friends in 30 seconds because they know the whole backstory. So if you have patients that are coming in and they already know your backstory, 90% of the battle to them saying yes to treatment because it's trust that's baked into the recruitment process.
No, it's so true because I think sometimes we can get fixated on the new patients in the door. And you know how many phone calls I'm on, man, where it's like, so tell me why you reached out. I need butts in the chair. I'm like, okay. No, I get that. Like, and I understand the need for the return on the investment. I also think it's a somewhat crass way of probably looking at our marketing efforts. But on the other side of it too is, but what if the new patients coming in, the trust level, the case acceptance, all elevated, right? Because that's routinely what happens. The patients that come in that start saying, I found you online. I knew you were the right choice for me because of your website. It's those values. Like on the macro, it's the story. On the micro, it's the values. It's like the things we believe, the things we're passionate about, the things we have energy around. They see that and they're like, oh, me too. Like, I think that, that makes a ton of sense. And so they come in, their trust level is way higher. They listen, the treatment plan is accepted at a higher rate.
I love that. So how do we change our marketing process?
Yeah.
What's the first few steps?
Usually the way we handle marketing is I need new patients. So what do I need? So what do I do? The Google ads, the Facebook ads, we're always looking for kind of the easy thing. And really a lot of my conversations, like, let's just back up a couple steps and talk about like why and like, what's the message? And so I think just even whether it's discovering that story, or maybe you have an amazing story and it's like, hey, we're the best kept secret in this community. I'm like, great. Then let's start working on telling that. And then there are some people that have an amazing website and have a ton of organic traffic coming to it. I'm like, well, but if we sent more traffic to it, it would convert at that same rate. So I think it's kind of just looking through that process, figuring out like where you need to work, what you need to focus on. Marketing is one of those things. If there's a shortcut or somebody even like mentions there being a easy shortcut to it, man, we jump all over it. The fact is like marketing, it takes time. It takes investment. That's how good marketing works anyway, right? It's never this like hammer hitting a plate of glass or planting some magic beans and the beanstalk grows. It's always like 1,000 little drips over the next 3 years.